Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, ay ay ay, alay la la la, ay la la la, alay la la la, la 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 la, ay 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 ay, alay la la la, ay la la la, la la la, alay la la la. Ay, 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 la, 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 ay, 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 ay. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Ay, 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 la, 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 ay, 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 ay. Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
Rabbi Rodish, I think we have a minion here. What do you think?
It's so good to see you all.
Isn't
really,
it great to see everyone?
So beautiful.
I'm Rabbi Jonathan Singer.
Rabbi Jason Rodich.
Cantor Marsha Addy.
Cantor Arik Luck. And we're also joined by Eric Schoen, Jonathan Ferris, Dick Bright, and Dan Fair.
All of them bring the Ruach, this whole band and team. They're so devoted. We're so grateful to them. And we're so grateful to see all of you and those who are also joining us via the streaming to come and bring in Shabbat on this beautiful, beautiful day. This is our welcome back Shabbat, because you're coming back into San Francisco and you're coming back as COVID wanes a little bit. We still have our rules that we ask you to be vaccinated coming in and to wear masks if you're inside the interior of the building, unless you're leading the service up here. And just hope that you're comfortable. And we want to be in this main room so you'll have a little space. If you want to spread out, if you're still feeling, I don't want to sit next to anybody, there's a lot of room all over this building. And tonight, as this welcome back Shabbat, we thought each of the rabbis here would share an iyun, a thought, throughout the service instead of one main sermon. So I'm glad to give you my own personal 12-minute sermon at the end afterwards. See me in the corner back there. But Shabbat Shalom, we're so glad you're here. Now we have two families that are celebrating Bat and B'nai Mitzvah tomorrow, and we want to ask them to come help us bring in Shabbat by kindling the Shabbat lights. We're on page 2 as we call up the Steinberg and Seth families, and they celebrate with Charlie and Libby and Kyle, who are going to be called up and are going to be teaching Torah here tomorrow morning and making Kiddush tonight. So come on up, Steinberg and Seths, and come find yourself at the candles. And as they get there in light, we'll all join together with the cantors in singing the bracha, the blessing. For now, take a deep Shabbat breath, everyone.
Shel Shabbat
Mazel tov. Give hugs around. Hugs around. Good Shabbos. Good Shabbos.
You can go back to your seat.
This week we lost a beloved Israeli composer. His name was Tzvika Peak. Raise your hand if you remember Tzvika Peak. Yay, I see some hands. And he wrote some melodies. He wrote a lot of popular music in Israel, but he also wrote some melodies for prayers. So tonight we'll sing two of his melodies. One will be the Shema. When we get to our Shema prayer, we'll sing his tune. A lot of you will recognize it. And he also wrote a melody for the Shehechianu prayer, our prayer that acknowledges that we've arrived to this amazing moment and we're thankful to be here. And this is a Shehechianu moment. We're coming to the end of the summer. You've all come to be with us. We have a new year coming. The holidays are coming. So we'll sing the Shehechianu together to the melody written by Tzvika Peak. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam
שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
You know this.
ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה.
Blessed are you who renews us and brings us to this very moment. Let's just take a moment. If there's someone near you that you don't know or don't know well, say hello. We'll just come back in like 30 seconds, but give a little hello to someone around you. Hello. This is my first time. And we take all this warm energy, this loving community energy, as we welcome Shabbat with the words of Lecha Dodi. They are on page 20. Please join us.
Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Penei Shabbat Nekabelai Shamor Bezachor בדיבור אחד השביענו אל המיוחד אדוני אחד ושמו אחד לשם ותפארת ולנטילה לך דודי לקלט קלה בני שבת Shabbat lechol v'melcha b'mekod habracha nerosh mikerem nezuch hasof ma'aseh b'machzat techila yoy lecha dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabela
ותולה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי חלה ילך אדוני לקראת כלה בני שבת נקבלה אוי 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 הלילה לילה אוי 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 הלילה לילה 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 אוי 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 לך אדוני לקראת כלה בני שבת
We welcomed the Sabbath bride, and we now welcome angels. Although there's already so many angels in here, look how angelic you are. With the words of Shalom Alechem on page 24.
Shalom Aleichem Malachei Hasharet Malachei Elyon Melech Malachei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Oachem L'Shalom Malachei HaShalom Malachei Elyon Melech Malachei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Shalom Malachei HaShalom Malachei Melech Malachei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Say lechem l'shalom Malachei HaShalom Malachei Melech Malachei HaMelachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Each of the rabbis will be speaking on the theme of renewal tonight for just a couple of minutes, sprinkled throughout the service, because we are renewed to be back together. It is so good to be here. When I think of renewal in Judaism, I think of the words that we say when we return the Torah back to the Ark during the Torah service, Chadesh Yameinu Kekedem. Renew us as in days of old, Chadesh Yameinu Kekedem. We sing it right as we close the doors, and it's a beautiful part of this service. I was thinking of you actually, Cantor Addy, because this is a little Hebrew thing. The word kedem translated in their prayer book as in days of old, like renew us as in days of old, but it actually means something like east or in front of us, and it refers to the rising sun in the morning. But what would the connection be between east, or the sunrise, and days of old? So in Judaism, there's a kind of melding between past and present, that the sunrise, the new day, also reminds us of what was. And isn't that what being part of a tradition is all about? To be people who are deeply invested in what was, but also can see what might be. If you've ever had the pleasure of watching the sunrise over the Negev desert or maybe on top of Masada, raise your hand if you've seen that kind of sunrise. You know what I'm talking about? It's gorgeous, right? Like it's just a moment thick with the possibility of what was and what might be. So I want to bless us tonight with this idea of renewal, that our sunrises are full of what was and what will be every day. We'll continue now with the Barchu. It is on page 28. Please rise.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Vaed. Hay lai 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 lai
Let's join together on the top of page 29 in English. There is one who sings the song of his own life, finding everything within himself. There is one who leaves the circle of herself and sings the song of her people. There is one whose voice rings with the song of humanity, hoping for the highest perfection. And there is one who rises even higher, uniting with all creatures, with all worlds, filling the universe with song.
You can find the Mariv Aravim on page 30. To get us to the English as well. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night, and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzvaot is your name. Ever-living God, that you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening.
Umavdil ben yom uvein laila, Adonai Tzvaot Shelo, El Chai v'Kayam, Tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, Amari Barak. אהבת עולם, בית ישראל, עמך אתה. תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו למדת. כן, אדוני אלוהינו, בשוכבנו נצליח בחוקיך, נשמח בדברי תורתך ומצוותיך לעולם בהם, כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נהיה יומם ולילה, כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נהיה יומם ולילה, כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נהיה יומם ולילה, כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נהיה יומם ולילה.
ואהבתך תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל.
שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. 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 ושם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו לעולם ועד. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד.
We say Shema and we connect with the holy all around us. We say we're united. All people are part of the one, and to see the holy in each other. And then Judaism tells us to take that recognition, that realization out into the world and to do good in the world, to help us see that holy in each other. And we're reminded that when we read the words, as we'll do in English on page 37, the Ve'ahavta. Join with me in this beautiful interpretive reading. Love your God with every heartbeat, with every breath, with every conscious act. Keep in mind the words I command you today. Teach them to your children. Talk about them at work, whether you're tired or you're rested. Let them guide the work of your hands. Keep in the forefront of your vision. Do not leave them in the doorway of your house or outside your gate. They are reminders to do all of my mitzvot, so that you can be holy for God. I am Adonai your
your
God.
God.
I led you out of Egypt to become
your God.
I am Adonai
your God.
And we're then connected to that coming out of Egypt with Micha Mocha on page 40.
Ya la 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 la, ya ba bye bye bim bim bam. Ya la 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 la, ya ba bye bye bim bim bam. I la 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 la, ya ba bye bye bim bim bam. I la 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 la, ya ba bye bye bim bim bam. Mi chamocha bailim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, noradi lo oseh peleh.
Have you ever had an MRI? I know that some of you have. It's a remarkable technology, and we are so lucky to live since the relatively recent invention of this tube that can scan the human body and find the problems that need repair. If you're like 5% of the population, however, claustrophobia is a terrible challenge to being inserted into that tube. I am part of the 5%. And the thought of being trapped inside of anything sends me into a panic. However, this past week, I had no choice but to swallow a couple of anti-anxiety pills, which I took way too late, and be rolled into that tube. I instantly panicked and jumped out, breathing hard, pulse racing. But in order to be sure that the surgery I'd had 1 year ago got everything, which thank God it did, I had to take a deep breath and go back inside. And then something really miraculous happened. I closed my eyes and I imagined standing right here inside of this deliciously large, spacious sanctuary of ours. For half an hour, I imagined being here with everyone who ever came into this house of prayer. I imagined being here with all of you in this very grand, sacred space, feeling our connection to our ancient tradition, to this gathering place of ours, and to the centuries ahead of us when future generations will gather here. I got through the rest of the MRI without difficulty. What renews me is showing up here with you. Whether you are here in the sanctuary finding your own safe space to sit, or whether you are sipping your Chardonnay or your Spindrift on your couch, welcoming in Shabbat, welcoming in a holiday, streaming in with us, coming together to sing, to reflect, and to chant. That renews me. It renews us. Every time we gather in this space at Rosh Hashanah or on Yom Kippur, it feels like a great family reunion. It renews my faith and hope for the Jewish future. Every time we gather here, I look out into our congregation and I see congregants who have come through loss. I see congregants who have come through illness. I see congregants who have celebrated a new baby, a bar mitzvah, or a wedding. I see congregants who are Jewish and congregants who are not Jewish, all finding meaning in this gathering. I am renewed. Each Friday when we gather here, we say a prayer for anyone who needs healing, as we will do in a moment. Having come through my own medical situation, I can tell you that communal prayer is powerful. Using this space to pray selflessly for others, not even knowing the people that we're praying for, renews us. Knowing that others are praying for us renews us. And when we gather collectively in this grand space or online, we know we are not alone, and that awareness renews us.
Page 373. Elna Rifana La Elna Rifana La Elna Rifana La Rifua Shlema. Let's try all that together. Elna Rifana La Elna Rifana La Elna Rifana La Rifua Shlema.
We think of those who are in need of healing on this Shabbat. Frank Friedman, Rusty Holden, Yechezkel Enoch ben Tzipora Brina, Marvin Breen, Vanessa Jacoby, Dr. Arthur Gelb, Roberta Goldman, Iris Friedman, Burton R. Jackson, Claudia Vaxman, Reagan Pritzker, Chaim Ben Chaya, Robert Weiseth, John Tolson, and any others the congregation is thinking of tonight. Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, God of our ancestors, we ask that you send all of the love and blessing of all of us gathered here, all of us at home, to those who are sick, to their caregivers, to their loved ones who worry for them. Together we all say, Amen.
Rifana La Rifana La Rifana La Rifua Shlema Rifana Rifana
Hashkivenu on page 42, we sing and hope for Sukkot Shalom, for a sukkah of peace to be spread over us.
And we want to invite, we have some young people in the room who are going to help lead us in this. Sophia, that's you too. And even if you haven't volunteered to me in advance, you're welcome to join us now if the Spirit moves you and you want to come sing the Hashkivenu.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, leshalom, ve'amidenu malkeinu lechaim, ufros aleinu sukat shomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shomecha. Shelter us beneath thy wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us daily wrong from right, O Adonai. Amen. 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 Amen.
Let's sing the voices.
Amen. 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 Amen.
I feel protected now, right? We continue with the Amidah. We rise together. It's on page 46.
Adonai Svatai Tiftach, Adonai Svatai Tiftach, Ufi Yagid Ve'inatecha, Ufi Yagid up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei HaKol V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imachot U'Mevii Geula Livnei V'Nechem Leman Shemo V'Yachava Melech Ozer U'Moshir U'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham V'Ezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mechayei HaKol Atah Rav Lehoshia Morid HaTal Mechalkel Chayim Bechesed Mechayei HaKol Berachamim Rabim Somech Noflim Verofech Olim Umatir Asurim Umechayem Emunato Lishenei Afar Michamocha B'Gevurot Umidom Elach Melech Meimit Umechayei Umatzmiach Yeshua V'ne'eman atah l'chayot hakol Baruch atah Adonai Mechayei hakol Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh U'kedoshim b'chol yom yehalelucha selah Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. We're on page 60.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim leolam. Ki atah hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki atah hu
part of my spiritual practice, which brings me personal renewal, every day before I eat something, my father taught me, I make a little motzi. I don't care if it's bread or carrots or ice cream. I'll say that motzi, and it doesn't matter if I'm in my home or if I'm at temple or at the half-day cafe up in Marin. People will hear me say that. The act of blessing or consuming something as an act, before you consume something, is an act of making yourself aware of being grateful for what has been brought to you and not taking it for granted. Well, in our parsha this week at Kev, we have the lines that become the Birkat Hamazon, the prayer that's said after the meal. A lot of our kids learn this at camp. Havarai nevarach, Yehishim nadim. Raise your hand if you learned it at camp. Yeah, we've made it kind of a secondary practice. Now and then we'll say it with joy here in the community, but it's not the same thing for us as the prayer before. Well, if you look at the text, as I did in preparation for today, it made me rethink that a little bit. It states, when you've eaten your fill, give thanks to God for the good that God has given you. When you're filled up, give thanks then too, the text says. It made me think about the act of being grateful when one is hungry and about to eat and the food before you is delicious and you can smell it coming from the kitchen and you want to have it. That's one act of gratitude. But then afterwards, when you're really filled up, to not just think about your satisfaction, but to still give thanks afterwards. Well, that's a different level of gratitude. I don't know if any of you are Jerry Seinfeld fans, but there's an early Seinfeld where as part of a stand-up, he says, when you go to the restaurant beforehand, you order everything, you feel great. When the check comes, you're like, did I want that? Was that really necessary? Well, these past few years, maybe prayer has come a little easier to us. Maybe if you got COVID and worried about, is it going to get any worse? Or somebody you knew was suffering, boy, you found prayer. Maybe you've had to take a long plane ride. Anyone nervous when they took a long plane ride this year? Maybe you found your words of prayer. But now that things have gotten better, is the Birkat teaching us afterwards, boy, open up. You still need that spiritual practice. You can nurture your life even more deeply when you think about satisfaction, when you've received blessing and are feeling full and feeling blessed. Part of the renewal the rabbis teach is, well, prayer is like exercise. You have to make a spiritual practice of it. And I hope that this year in our community, you'll see this place where we do gather and come from different perspectives as a place that makes that spiritual place or a spiritual space for being welcome, for exploring, for questioning, but also just for opening up your heart and connecting with that holy within, with that prayer. Take a deep breath right now, everyone. There it is. Shabbat Shalom. We rise for our concluding prayers. 282, we find Elenu.
עלינו לשבח לטון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו למשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו לכל המונה, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא.
The joy of being here is so amazing, but also seeing it as a place to find comfort and support when you're mourning. That also is so powerful. As we get ready for the Mourner's Kaddish, we read this prayer on page 290 in preparation. It's a fearful thing to love what death can touch. A fearful thing to love, hope, dream, to be, and oh, to lose. A thing for fools, this, and yet a holy thing to love. For your life has lived in me. Your laugh once lifted me. Your word was gift to me. To remember this brings a painful joy. But 'tis a human thing, love, a holy thing to love and to keep loving what death has touched. Our hearts go out to these families. First to the Nebenthals. Scott will be laid to rest soon. And then the Shloshim, the month of mourning for these loved ones. Marjorie Feder, Carol Breen, Zelda Goldman, Oren Ergas, Ronald Robb, Mayor Heller, and Shalom Bunik. May you be comforted with these words and with our presence. And as the art site, the anniversary of the passing of these loved ones, may their memory be for a blessing, as today we honor the memory of Berta Alexandrovich, Dorothy Greenberg Balshon, Robert Bolton, Mickey Bourne, Aaron Brayman, Betty Brisker, Sheila Brown, Lottie Greenfield Burstein, Janice Cohen, Louis Coles, Harold S. Dobbs, Jerry Ezrin, Mary Greenblatt, Rabbi Hugo Grin, Gedalia Halfon, Esther Halfon, Morris Heller, Marsha Israel Curley, George L. Jacobs, Bernard Kaplan, Jean Lowentritt Kaplan, Mildred Kessler, Judy Lamb, David D. Lent, Pauline Levinsons, Caroline Lisberger, Hugo Lowenstein, Ruth Lubarsky, Robert Lubarsky, Lee Miller, Samuel Miller, Mark M. Morris, John J. Naylor Jr., Karen Nossiter, Marcella Osheroff, Lillian Price, Rose Ratner, Thelma Rubin, Moses Rishin, Samuel William Rothman, Harold Schiff, Norman Wallace Shanbrun, Dr. Ben Shenson, Catherine Sloan, Beatrice Stone, Ida Stone, Leonard Ehrman, Rita Willenitz, and Zarin Yehuron. And if you're here to say Kaddish for someone whose name wasn't mentioned, as I point my talit towards you, please call out their name and their relationship to you, or write it online. We find the Kaddish in our prayer books on page 294, and we stand as one community of support. Yitgadal v'yikadash shmei Rabbah.
Amen.
Be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei. Achaychon v'yimachon v'yedachol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala u'bizman karib v'yimru. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam ulmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei d'kudsha. Le'elah min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata b'nechamata. Damiran be'alma v'yimru. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya. Chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru. Osei shalom b'mromav. Hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru. Amen.
At this time, grab your prayer book. You will be taking it with you in a minute, but for now, just close it and maybe put it in a cubby or gently put it on the chair in front of you. And if the person next to you is okay with it, go ahead and find that person's shoulder with your arm. And as one kahal, we pray together for peace.
Oseh shalom b'mromav, Hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru. Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru, amen. Shalom b'mromav, Hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru, amen.
Well, Livy and Kyle and Charlie, we're so excited for your B'nai Mitzvah tomorrow. And you're starting off by leading us in Kiddush. Join with them, everybody.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratza banu, v'shabbat kodsho, v'ahava u'ratzon hilanu, zikaram l'masei bereshit, ki hu yom tehillah, lo nikraye kodesh, zeher l'tziat Mitzrayim, ki banu bacharta, v'tanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodeshecha, v'ahava u'ratzon, v'chaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh ha-Shabbat.
L'chaim.
Can we give them big mazel tov, everyone? Mazel tov, mazel tov. Wow. Well, we look forward to that tomorrow. We have other things coming up at the synagogue. Hopefully you saw the tables when you came in with all the areas to sign up or get involved or go in line. We have a tremendous adult education. Dara Horn's going to be here in October. Read her books. She's amazing. And of course, what's coming up soon, everybody? The high holidays. So register to come and be here. Take the day off from work or be online with us, but be with us in some way. And also our schools are registering right now, and come register. Cantor Luck, am I missing anything to announce?
I will just add that YFE our Youth and Family Education does begin on September 11. So please do get those registrations in. So much exciting stuff happening. Let's join in Motzi.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz
Do bring your prayers back to the prayer book cart and join us for dinner, and we hope just to enjoy and be well. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Thanks.